Hi guys, I'm so excited to be here today because we are going to be doing something new and exciting. I've invited two of my favorite ladies to join me today in discussing some of our craziest cam stories. You have to hear them to believe them, you guys. In this business, I will tell you, the stories are sometimes unbelievable. Some will make you laugh, some will disgust you, and some will even put you on the verge of tears. We thought it would be fun to bring to you a couple of stories to give you the inside scoop on what we've experienced during our cam career and some things you might encounter along the way. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready to laugh. And remember, please don't try these things at home. So Sophia and Alani, who's going to be the first to tell us about their very first day camming?
Oh, I have a story for you. So, I was asked one time to get this big black cock out.
Oh my gosh. No shit.
And I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, I can't use this. And the guy was like, no, I want you to wear it. And I was like, you want me to wear this? Like, you want me to wear it? And then you want me to turn you into a girl? Okay, I guess I could do that. Isn't that so weird?
That is so weird.
Oh, that's funny. What about you?
Well, for me, okay. So I would say that while I was in my free chat, I have this guy come in and his name is like Jacques Lecoq Grande, okay? And I'm just like, oh, he's like, yeah, come look at my cock, whatever, blah, blah. And he's like, do you want to make fun of my cock, whatever? I was like, sure. So he goes in there, I'm expecting this like huge, like massive cock, And then he turns on his camera and this thing was like, no kidding, like 1 fucking inch. I did not know that cocks could be that fucking small. He was like literally like going like this and I'm just like stunned because, he says he has like this huge cock, but it's just like this big. And he wanted me to make fun of him. It was just like the weirdest fucking I didn't know that those existed. It was so fucking weird.
Okay, so mine isn't like your guys' is funny. Mine's a little bit more like an eye-opening story. Because when I was new, I had no idea that I was going to be basically not really prepared, I guess you could say, for what this person was wanting. So guy comes in and he's like, I'm a loser. My wife cheats on me. I'm fat. I have no job. And I think my wife wants to leave me or something like that. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm sure you're not that bad. Do you want to go ahead and go to private so we can talk about it? And I thought maybe my role was to like be his counselor or something. And so he's like, okay, and so we go into private. And I'm all, so tell me about your wife. She's probably a really mean lady anyway, that you deserve better. And I was trying to like build him up. Basically trying to build him up because I really genuinely believed that he was having a hard time with confidence and stuff and was about to go kill himself. And anyway, so when I was doing that, all of a sudden he leaves the show. And I was like, dang, I thought we were doing really good. In fact, I thought that I was helping this guy. He comes back into my room a few minutes later and he says, I really like you. I like your look. I like your energy. I like everything about you, but I'm not really sure you know exactly what I had in mind. And I said, oh, well, didn't you say you're fat and your wife, she sucks. She thinks you're fat too. That's mean, I'm sitting there telling him that. And he goes, no, I actually wanted you to tell me that I'm fat and that I'm a loser and that my wife should leave me for another guy. And I was like, oh my God, I was mind blown in that moment. I was like, whoa, so that's like, you want me to make fun of you? And he's like, yeah, I want you to be cruel, And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it again. So we get in there, I was like, you are fat, ugly, look at you, you're bald, you have no job, you need to, and I was just going off on him and he was like, that's the best show ever. Anyway, long story short, it was an eye-opener for my first camming experience.
Definitely.
Had no idea people would enjoy that.
Oh my
That's
God,
awesome.
That's crazy.
Okay, so who wants to tell about their craziest like cam story? Like the craziest story that you've had in your room when you're like...
How about like the grossest thing we've seen?
Okay, well that's crazy.
Ugh. Well, okay. So I had this guy come in my room, right? And then I didn't know what he wanted to do. He just went private. and then he turns on his camera, and then he starts pissing in a cup. And I'm just like, what's going on? I had no idea what was happening. So then, after he does that, I don't know what was happening next, but he goes, and he's like, you know, crouching over the toilet, and then he's just like, reaches his hand in there, grabs out this stuff that looks like shit, and, you know, I don't know, and it's just like slopping like all down his hands, and I'm just like sitting there like stunned.
Oh
and then next thing you know, it's like he was gonna go eat it, and I was just
my
God. You just don't want to know what happens next. But that was like the weirdest grossest thing ever.
Oh my gosh. So that actually reminds me of a really disgusting story. I will just tell you guys the craziest thing I think that ever happened to me. I just can't. I mean, that was disgusting. Don't get me wrong. That was disgusting.
Yeah.
If he ate it, that's even worse.
Yeah.
But okay, so this guy comes in and he's like, "Hey, you want to play a dice game?" And I was like, "Sure, that sounds like fun, you know?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I got 2 dice." And then I was like, "Well, I don't know if you're cheating. So wait, what are we throwing dice for?" And he's like, "Wow, I was thinking I could eat canned, wet cat food." I was like, "No, wait, did you just say the wet cat food? Like the kind that smell like Friskies? Like the smell? You'll do that?" He goes, "Tell me to buy whatever you want and I'll go get it." And I'm like, "Oh, I want you to get the Friskies." Because I know for a fact that stuff smells so bad. And not all cat food smells. And I didn't believe him. I swear to you, I did not believe him. And I said, "Okay, so what are we doing with the dice?" And he's like, "Well, I've got this really good idea. If we roll the dice, I have to eat as many cans as the dice you roll, the number." I said, "Oh my God, are you serious? You're gonna do 12 cans if I roll 2 6s, you know?" And he was like, yeah. So he goes to the store, comes back about an hour later. He's like, "I'm ready for the show, you know?" He's all dressed up. He says, "I got my pig costume on. I'm on the floor. I got my plate, and I'm rolling the dice." And I actually ended up getting an app on my phone to roll the dice, so I knew he wasn't cheating. So I would hit it and then show him. It's a dice app.
Yeah.
And so I rolled like a 4 and like a 5, I think. And it was like 9 cans. It was a high number. And I was like, yes. Because I was thinking, you know, he might be able to do 2. But 9 cans?
That is
you know?
disgusting.
And if he lost, he owed me like $100 or something. We did like a bet. Anyway, he's like, "Okay." So he starts putting all of his canned food in like a pile on his plate. And then he starts to just dig into it head first. And he probably got maybe like through 1 or 2 bites. And there's all. And then he's like, I gotta go. And he shut the camera off and ended the show.
That's so nasty.
I didn't know if I should
really
feel
good.
bad or what,
Oh
but
my
like,
God.
yeah, it was just like, I told him, I was like, "Why did you set yourself up for failure? You know that shit's gross."
It probably wasn't salmon flavored.
Oh my God. See no words.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a pretty crazy one, but I don't know if it's gonna top those 2.
Okay.
So, I mean, same kind of thing. So this guy comes in with his cam on. I didn't know what he wanted. And all of a sudden, it's this gaping hole 4 inches wide. You know what that hole was? That was his butthole. 4 inches wide. Gaping hole.
Without
right in
any-
front of my face. Nothing in it. Just a gaping fucking hole. Oh my God.
You were looking
And then
down?
he takes something that looks just like this, I swear to you, just like this, and shoves the entire thing in his butthole.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't know that was possible. I was like, oh.
Poor.
But they like that.
Yeah, seriously, asshole.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how did they even do that?
Training.
I don't want to know. Yeah, that's training for sure. I don't think that's natural for anyone. Okay, so let's see. What about your most embarrassing moment on cam? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've had a ton.
Oh yeah, of course.
But what would be like one of your most, that just off the top of your head?
Oh my God. So when I first started camming, I think the most embarrassing thing for me, and it was really funny, you know, I would have people asking me questions all the time, you know, talking to me saying, "Hey, do you get naked? Do you do this? Do you do that?" And I was so clueless in the beginning. All I did was,
Crickets.
crickets. I didn't say shit.
Oh my gosh.
And eyes wider, depending on how intense it was. Oh my gosh, especially the get naked question. Oh, I was like, okay.
That's funny. You're
Man.
You. Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry. Just gonna go. Well, for me, okay, so when you have your boyfriends, like, when you're like in high school and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, baby, like, talking on the phone sex, whatever. So when I started camming, I was like, oh, I got this. I totally know how to dirty talk, whatever. So I get into a show, and this guy's like, I want you to tell me how you're gonna fuck me. And I was like, oh yeah, for sure. So I get in there, and I'm just like, kind of doing the same thing. I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I was like, he's all stroking his cock, and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck you so hard, you're gonna die. And he's just like, end of private show. And I was like, oh my god,
you're gonna die?
Yeah. I didn't know what to say. I was just trying to think of like what's like the most like aggressive way I could tell
You
him.
immediately ends it.
Yeah.
That's so sexy. I gotta tell you, that's probably the sexiest thing
I know.
that I've ever heard.
Because that's what everybody
in
wants,
cam.
right?
Yeah. They wanna die during sex. Oh my god, you guys, my story's not even that funny. You guys have good stories. Mine's more something that I did that I thought was like super awkward, and I felt like very embarrassed in that moment. And I think a lot of girls probably do this. I was dancing, trying to be sexy, doing all my little moves, trying to draw traffic into my room. And like, I had these really high heels on and stuff, and I had this certain throw rug, and all I can say is that my heel ended up getting caught in the rug, and I went down on the floor. And
well on camera.
It's not the way you want to look when you're trying to be sexy. I mean, you're just like moving. You're out. You're feeling yourself. Your favorite song is on. People are tipping you, and you're And then all of a sudden, and you face plant the floor. That's what I did.
See, that's hot.
All right. But it's like those real moments, that I think you have as a in this business as a cam model. I think that you have these real moments that you can't escape because it's live.
Yeah.
So you can try as much as you want, but there are just things that are gonna happen, that are gonna definitely embarrass you. Okay, so now that we've covered a few of our different interesting and funny and embarrassing moments, what is like a tip that you guys would give somebody who's starting out for the first time? What's a tip?
Well, I guess for me, it was hard to not take things personal at first. You have these people coming in your room saying all the things like, oh, look at that huge ass forehead, or look at your big old nose, or oh my god, like, I'm gonna make you like my maid, or whatever, like, you deserve to be doing this, whatever. I'm just like, oh my god, like, am I really like that person? Looking in the mirror, just like, oh shit. But I just would say just not to take things too personal, because people are gonna come and say things all the time, and sometimes it's a fetish, sometimes it's not. But I just would just take it with a grain of salt and just laugh it off and keep on going.
Beautifully said, and I think that's such a good point. This is so true, you guys. People will say things just to get a rise out of you. That same thing happens to everyone. My takeaway would be don't be intimidated by the crazy fetishes you're going to hear about, because you guys, in this business, that's part of it, learning what those things are. So I would say equip yourself in the beginning, learn the vocab, and just kind of know a little bit going in. But even if you don't, just ask more questions. A lot of these people love talking about whatever it is they're interested in, I cannot tell you how many times people came into my room asking for something crazy. It was like an acronym. You do CEI or something, and I'm like, what the hell is that, And they would explain to me, and they had no problem doing that. So I would just say, don't be intimidated. The stranger it is, I promise you, the more money it will make, and actually it's the more fun in the long run.
I totally agree with you. Like, I'd say my tip would be, don't stop asking questions, don't stop talking, because you don't want a deer in headlights moment like I had, especially when someone's asking you about a fetish and you don't know about it. don't stop talking. Don't stop asking questions, because the second that they think you don't know what you're talking about, they will just leave.
Exactly.
So if you're interested and if you're asking questions, it shows that you have something more to offer and that you're confident regardless of whether you know what you're talking about or not.
Exactly. Yep. So that is it, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this, because we sure did. And I hope to see you guys back for our next video. This was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.